What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 99, and we start today's just off by requesting some funds from the board. I thought as the January transfer deadline date is just around the corner, I'll ask for £5 million to see what the board will say. It won't help us do much, but it might help us bring home one player or possibly two players as well. But instead of getting that £5 million, we're not going to get a single penny because the board came back to me afterwards and said this: Mr. Equality, we have reviewed your request. Unfortunately, given your performance at the club, we are not confident at this time that these additional funds will bring success to the club. We have thus decided not to approve your request. Given my performance at the club, well, we've been here for 3.5 years now. What have we done? We've won the Capital One Cup, we've won 2 Community Shields, we've won the Copa Europe, we've won the Europa League, 2-time FA Cup winners, 1 Premier League, and the Champions League we won last season in our first ever Champions League season. So given my performance at the club, I don't deserve an extra £5 million. Really? You're not confident? You're not confident in my ability that you won't give me £5 million? Don't even compromise. Don't even give me £2.5 million. Don't even give me £1 million. Don't even entertain the possibility of giving me a tenner. Nope. Given my performance at the club, you're not confident in my ability. Thank you very much, board. It's nice to know that the 9 trophies I've won in 3.5 years count for absolutely nothing. So pretty frustrated about that. I wouldn't have minded had they said we're a little bit skint right now, but no, given my performance at the club, what are you talking about? Seriously, my name is going to go down in Watford folklore, man. Seriously, I've been fantastic in my performance here at Vicarage Road. What an insult that was. But still, for today's first and only game of today's episode, guys, we take on Middlesbrough here in the FA Cup third round. Now, of course, we're the 2-time winners of this FA Cup. Not the board would know that. We've won this competition in the past 2 seasons. We want to win it for the 3rd time in a row. Taking on Middlesbrough here, the Championship side, as they will travel to Vicarage Road. We took the lead early on in the game through Romelu Lukaku, and then in the second half here, Damari Gray almost made it 2-0 to Watford, but his header hit the bar. Middlesbrough almost equalised here just past the hour mark, but Valencia's header went wide, the post and behind for a goal kick. Should have done a lot better there, but failed to hit the target. And in the 74th minute, they had another good chance here, but Jeremy Jakovic made a good save with his near post, and the Canadian turned it behind for a corner. So still Watford 1, Middlesbrough 0. In the 79th minute, there was a good chance for us to seal the game, make it 2-0. PLO's regen Donnarumma found Troy Deeney through towards Damari Gray, but his shot went straight at Agazi and was a simple save for the goalkeeper. But later on in the game, Middlesbrough get the ball away here. Gray wins it back for us once again, comes through, goes for goal, and as you can see, also finds the back of the net as well. So Damari Gray, back from his loan spell, makes it Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0. No, not back from his loan spell. He's been here all season long, hasn't he? Still, Gray gets the goal, makes it Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0, and we do seal our position, or I should say seal our tickets into the next round of the FA Cup. So Gray comes off the bench, makes it 2-0, and does make sure we'll be going through to the next round of the FA Cup, and our defence of the trophy will live on. And Damari Gray in this game as well, after coming off the bench at half-time, was fantastic for us. I've said this since season 1 when we signed him from Birmingham. He's always been really, really good for us, despite the fact he has not grown as well as some players. But still, final score was Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0. The final chance fell there, but the foul shot was well saved by Agazi and turned behind for a corner. So final score, Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0. Another clean sheet for Jeremy Jakovic, the Canadian, and we are through to the next round of the FA Cup. So really pleased with that. In fact, it's not the FA Cup third round, is it? It's the FA Cup 4th round, this one. But either way, we're through to the next round of the FA Cup anyway. That's the most important thing. And our defence of the trophy will live on. But still, following that, we can see that Michael Keane is now been put on the transfer list by the board, as we have not agreed a new contract with him. Keane is one of those players like Damari Gray, who may not be as good as some players in similar positions, but always puts in a good shift when I play him. So we'll have to wrap up a new deal for Michael Keane as soon as possible. And also, Riedewald as well was wanted by West Ham for £16 million. Not a bad deal, this one, but he's only 22 years old, 81 overall. He's only grown 1 rating outside of the training I've given him, but I do like him. So I said to Slaven Bilic, unless you match £40 million, don't bother coming back. And I don't think he'll be on his way to Upton Park, because that is a lot of money. But still, Hoffenheim came back to us regarding Sofiane Boufal and said it goes as high as £23 million. Now, that's not a bad deal for Boufal, because Boufal, of course, has not grown 1 single rating since we signed him. But I like controlling Boufal. I feel really good when using him. I think he's a really decent player for us, and had he been growing some ratings, I'm sure he would have been a proper star in this Watford team. So unless they match what we're asking for, he's going to be staying here. But still, falling out, it was time for transfer deadline day, and as you can see, we had a bid here for Crescito. He's going to go to Forest on a 2-year loan deal, which is fine with me. He is Buffon's regen, of course, but he's not getting game time here. He's behind Jeremy Jakovic, so he can go to Forest for 2 years, and that's fine with me. And also as well, Hoffenheim did come back to us regarding Boufal and and said they wouldn't match the counter offer we asked for, which is fine. Same with West Ham as well, unsurprisingly, which is fine because Buffal, as I said, he may not be growing any ratings, but I really like using him. 5-star skills, of course, always fun for me. I'd rather keep him here, so Buffal's going to stay. Although, to be fair, I did actually decide to do this on transfer deadline day with very little money left over here at Watford. I thought possibly, just possibly, we could swap out Sofiane Buffal for someone like Ramsey or someone like Wilshere, like we were trying to do a Coutinho a couple episodes ago, just see if we could possibly swap out the Moroccan and bring in someone who's better and will probably be growing ratings themselves. So I decided to try and do this with Ramsey and Wilshere as well, and also with Icardi too. I did a straight swap deal with Bertrand Traore just to try and better the side overall before we possibly leave at the end of the season and wait and see what these clubs would say. But as you can see, following these straight swap deals here, Arsenal and Inter come back to us regarding the bids and just say, forget about it. This is just a complete waste of my time. So that was totally fine with me. Those players are not going to come here. Buffal will be staying. And again, had it happened, I would have been pleased. Had it not happened, I would have minded. So I don't really mind too much, and that's totally fine with me. But still, Felivi is going to go to St Andrews on a 1-year loan deal. The 20-year-old striker is 74 overall. He looks pretty decent since coming back from his loan spells, but I still think he's way behind the pecking order. He's behind all the strikers we have right now. He won't get much game time. We may as well loan him out. And also a big game for Lewis Cook as well from Bayern Munich, interestingly enough. Guardiola, or whoever's managing Bayern at this time in the game, wanted to sign our young holding midfielder, 21 years old, 76 overall. The former Leeds man hasn't developed as well as I was hoping, but is still a pretty decent squad player, and I would rather keep him here. Also, 2 more transfer offers here, one for Ross Barkley and one for Michael Keane as well. Not bad deals, these ones, but as you can see, we just rejected them straight up because the theme of this January transfer window and this deadline day in particular was pretty obvious. Keep the players here because this will probably be our final season with Watford. I didn't feel the need to sell on these players and try and replace them on deadline day because first and foremost I had no real targets, to be honest with you, and also I just thought to myself, this will probably be our final season. I like this squad. I don't want to make any massive changes before we end up moving to a new one, if we move to a new one, if you guys decide to vote for me to go to a new club. So deadline day was a pretty uneventful one at Watford, I'm afraid. We did loan out Crescito and Felivi, but other than that the players stayed here, so I'm totally fine with the business we did on deadline day. The Sky Sports News cameras came to Vicarage Road and said, will you be doing anything? Will you be going for a new striker? I was like, new striker? Do you want a good night's sleep? That's all I wanted. Wanted to wrap up deadline day as soon as possible, and that's what we did. So, bids came in, and again, I possibly could have sold those players and looked to bring in a replacements. I mean, that bid for Barkley, for example, was really good, but I just thought to myself, we don't need to. We really don't need to. This squad is fine on its own. I like this squad. You've seen what this Watford team is all about. You'll see the squad report here. It's a fun team. It's a young team. It's got good talent. It's got good potential. There's no need to butcher it before we probably leave to a new club in the summer, so we may as well keep the players here. And again, some of you guys may be thinking, oh my god, why didn't you sell Barkley, why didn't you sell Buffal for that money and just buy someone new? But we don't need to. We don't need to. This squad is totally fine. It's a fun team. I like this team. I like this squad, and I want to keep everyone here. This Watford team is all about unity and team spirit, and there's no reason to sell any of those players and mess around with that dynamic. So let's just keep the players here. That's what we've done. We've loaned out a couple of players, but other than that, everyone will be staying put. So there's a look at the news commentary report there as the January transfer window ended. And now we'll look at the squad report as well, so you can see how the players are currently getting on. This team right here, it's such a fun team, isn't it? And if we do leave Watford come the end of the season, it will be a little bit sad, don't get me wrong, but this is such a fun team. And in terms of career mode teams I've built, without doubt one of the better ones, there's no denying that. But in terms of enjoyment, in terms of fun players, this is definitely one that is up there. We've got some really, really good characters in this team. I really like it, and it will be sad to leave Vicarage Road if we do end up doing so, but I like the players we brought in. We've got regens of Lampard and Gerrard and Pirlo as well, and Buffon too, of course, now loaned out to Nottingham Forest on a 2-year loan deal. It's got the Canadian talent coming through the academy as well, notably Jeremy Jakovic, the skipper for Canada, and also Jeremy Haber as well. He's now on loan at Crewe for 2 years. It's got some good players. It's also got some original players too, like Troy Deeney, he's stuck around, and Denan Lewis out on loan, for leaving out on loan as well. Tommy Hoban still in the team too, so we haven't completely changed the entire side. It's a fun team though, and it's a successful team because with 15 games to go in the league, we are still top of the table, 8 points clear of Spurs in second and 10 points clear of Arsenal in third. In the FA Cup, we are through to the next round. We're waiting for the round 4 replays we played before seeing who we'll be facing in the round of 16, and also as well in the Champions League, we are of course into the round of 16, where we'll be taking on the Italian side Roma in defence of that trophy. But still, the final thing you see in today's episode, guys, is a contract offer to Michael Keane. Even though we are now outside the transfer window, I still want to keep him happy and give him a new deal, as I think he does deserve deserve one anyway. That does end the episode though, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave likes, as of course much appreciated. It really helps my channel out. Don't forget the next episode will be episode number 100, and of course it will be a special from me to say thank you for the incredible support on this series so far. So look forward to that special episode number 100. Thank you for watching this one though. If you have enjoyed it, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode, the special episode number 100, very soon.